Hi, it's Vex, and today we're going to talk about the top 10 cards of Modern Horizons 2. That's right, this is the top card, of course. That's it. Game over. No. I'm just kidding. Top 10 cards are non-legendary cards. An honorable mention, Chatterfang, because I love Chatterfang. This is my favorite card from the set because it is a Squirrel General. Golgari, finally. If you haven't seen the deck tech, there's deck tech there. Love Chatterfang. This is an honorable mention. This is a top 10 in my heart, but this is not the top 10. I guess this is Vex's top 10, but honorable mention, number 11. Number 10 is we have these tokens right here, Food Clue Treasure. Well, the thing that generates a bunch of these tokens, Academy Manufactor. As you can see, my Lotus deck tech here. Academy Manufactor is 3 colorless. Assembly Worker, call back to old days. If you were to create a clue, food, or treasure token, instead create one of each. So if you were to create a treasure, you create a clue, treasure, food. And if you create clue, treasure, food. It's insane. There's an infinite combo in Lotus if you watch that video. But I really love this card, Academy Manufactor. Because it just, for every treasure you make, like Smothering Tide, now you make a clue, food, treasure. If you have Lotus, every time you make a clue, you make a food, treasure. So it's super good. It's super fun because I just love game objects. People love game objects. If you have Doubling Season, Parallel Lives, all that cool stuff, Academy Manufacturer is your dude. Number 9, Yavamaya, Cradle of Growth. This is the green Yawgmoth. Orborg, Tomb of Yawgmoth. That's what I meant. Each land is a forest in addition to its other types. So this is a legendary, of course, but this is also a forest. And it's really good in EDH because it's actually good with Chatterfang. Chatterfang has Force Walk, so if you have this, you can just unblockable Chatterfang. Besides the point of Chatterfang, it's good because it makes everything forced. Let's be honest, every deck that has green, 5 color decks, 4 color decks, 3, 2 color decks, even mono green, is a base green deck. And Yavamaya might help your opponents, but it does give you extra green because obviously your base green deck, you ramp. It's very good in that sense. Love it. I'm putting this all my green decks. If you have Chatterfang, you can do Yavamaya and Orborg and never worry about mana ever again. It turns your fetch lands into forests, so you don't have to fetch until you need them. So it's very good. All right. I usually do dice, and I totally forgot to put them out here. So we were on number 9. Right here, Yavamaya's number 9. Let's do number 8 here. I haven't done dice in a while. It's cool. Keep track. Number 8 is Scion of Draco. 12 colorless. You'll never be paying 12 colorless unless you're playing a colorless deck. Domain. This spell costs 2 generic less to cast for each basic land type among lands you control. So it's actually not 12 colors, 12 generic. I always forget. Flying. So let's read the first one. Basically, if you have one of each land type, it costs 2 generic mana. So it's super cheap. It's a flying 4/4. It's a dragon. So this is definitely on my TMI deck once I make that. Each creature you control has Vigilance if it's white, Hexproof if it's blue, Lifelink if it's black, First Strike if it's red, and Trample if it's green. Now this is a colorless card, can go in whatever variety deck you want. It's really good in blue decks because it guarantees all your blue creatures Hexproof. And I know it costs 10 in a blue deck, but the more colors, the cheaper it is. But it's still good in 4 color decks, 3 color decks. It turns into like a 6 mana if it's a 3 color deck. And it grants cool keywords. The important keyword is blue. Hexproof blue, because that's when you really care about protecting your creatures. Scion of Draco is really good in these blue decks. Definitely really good in 4 color decks, 5 color decks. There. All right. Number 7 here. We have Ignoble Hierarch. We finally have a Jund mana dork, and in 5 colors when we need extra mana dorks, or in 4 colors or Jund itself. We have Ignoble Hierarch, complements Noble Hierarch. Super good. It just does so much work because it just helps you ramp on turn 1. Remember, if you're playing a non-green deck, you don't get to ramp on turn 1, but if you're playing green, you get to ramp on turn 1. When I say ramp on turn 1, I mean like color ramp on turn 1. Green has so much, and this just adds another card that lets you ramp on that turn 1. So super good there. Number 6 here, Dauthi Voidwalker. If you've watched a lot of my videos, I always say have graveyard hate. Dauthi Voidwalker is very, very good graveyard hate. Let's read it. It's black, shadow. Shadow means this creature can block or be blocked only by creatures with shadow. so only shadows can block each other. If a card will be put into an opponent's graveyard from anywhere, instead exile it with a void counter on it. Now it's kind of like Leyline of the Void. That's why it's called Dauthi Voidwalker. Sacrifice Dauthi Voidwalker. Choose an exile card an opponent owns with a void counter on it. You may play it this turn without paying its mana cost. Wow. Now it's exile card, and it could be a land. Of course, if you somehow exile, Eldrazi, you could just tap it, sack it, and cast the Eldrazi, getting the cast trigger too. So it doubles its graveyard hate, and it could recycle the things that you've stolen with void counters on it into your own goodies here. I do have some variations of Dauthi Voidwalker. It's kind of weird to see all these different variants, but there's the foil, retro border here, and I have the etched foil. I think etched foil looks better in black because it makes things darker and makes black cards darker, but etched foil does not look that great, to tell you the truth. So I have all these variants. I know you can play a deck and mess with people, have all the different variants there. So which one's this? This one's the etched foil. I think I messed it up. This one's the etched foil right here. Yeah. That one's etched foil. Did I grab the wrong one? And this one's the regular foil. There we go. Dauthi Voidwalker. Got a bunch of them. That was number 6. Number 5, we have our fun card called Damn. It's a half a Damnation. I guess it's got a little Damnation thing on here. It looks like a Wrath of God Damnation combined. But it's a black. Destroy target creature. Creature destroyed this way can't be regenerated, so it destroys one creature instead of all creatures. But if you overload it, 2 white becomes a Wrath of God. Destroy all creatures, and all creatures can't be regenerated. This is super good in a deck that is essentially a deck that has black and white because it's a Urza card, but it goes right into any Urza deck. It just doubles as board wipe when necessary, or if you don't want a board wipe, you can do pinpoint wipe. One of the downfalls with board wipes are like you either have to wipe your own things, and sometimes you don't. But if you're in a good position, you just draw this, a board wipe. You're like, I can't really do anything with it. So it's kind of like a dead card. Damn is always live in the board wipe mode or the single creature destruction mode. That's what makes it so good, so high up on the list. Number 4 here. Sword of Hearth and Home. So 3 generic mana. This is the 8th sword in the cycle. So I have 2 more left. Maybe Modern Horizons 3 will have the last 2. But they only have 1 this time. Sword of Hearth and Home is an artifact equipment. Quick creature gets +2/+2 and has protection from green and white. Now, green is the most played color. White is the least played color. So, but protection from green is very key here. You block those big creatures and stuff. And then whenever a quick creature deals combat damage to a player, exile up to 1 target creature you own. So it does some blinking, which is really good in white. Actually, really good in green now because green has everything. Anything any color can do, green has it better. So you can blink, and then you can search your library for a basic land card, and then put both cards onto a battlefield under your control, then shuffle. It doesn't say tapped here, right? So just both cards onto a battlefield under your control. So it's untapped creature, untapped land. So that becomes really good because this is like Sword of the Animus, except for it costs 1 more generic mana, but it gives you so much more. Unfortunately, Sword of the Animus, I think it's an attack trigger. This is a deal damage trigger, but again, you just find the person with green or white creatures and just attack them, deal damage to them. Number 3, of course, had to be a green good stuff card, Abundant Harvest. Now you're like, Vex, this is just a common. Like there's some rares, some mythics here. Actually, I think they're all rares and mythics right here, but this is common. Do you want to know why this common is so good and why I think it's so good? Because it's essentially the green cantrip, but it's basically just treat it like a modal double face card. Actually, let's read it. 1 green, choose land or non-land, reveal cards from top of your library until you reveal a card of the chosen kind. Put that card into your hand and the rest into the bottom of your library in a random order. So essentially, it just lets you cantrip through your library. If you need a land, you pay 1 green, you get a land. It's always a land. If you need a non-land because you're flooded or you have enough lands, pay 1 green, get a non-land. So this turns into a modal double face card, except for it's not like always Balagad Recovery. It's either whatever land in your deck. It could be a Yavamaya or whatever. So it's a mystery land. Or it could be whatever card in your deck. And of course, you put cards in your deck because they're good and you want them. So this is excellent. If Commander wasn't an expression of play style and cool cards in your deck, I think Abundant Harvest should go in every green deck. to me, it's just a near staple in every green deck. But of course, it's kind of like a Soul Ring, kind of homogenizes the format. So if you want to play, if you're missing a slot in your deck, put Abundant Harvest in it. It's always good. Trust me, it's always good. Number 2, to no one's surprise, you've seen this on game nights, on all the EDH channels. Esper Sentinel, 1 white, and then it's an artifact creature, human soldier. Whenever your opponent casts their first non-creature spell, so only once a turn, non-creature spell each turn, draw a card unless that player plays X, where X is Esper Sentinel's power. Now, starts off with a 1/1, so it's kind of like the Ristic style. You want to pay 1 for that. It always does non-creature spells, but it comes down first turn of the game. Imagine like Mystic Remora. You just play it turn 1. Your first player in turn order. Kind of opponent wants to play a Soul Ring. Like, do you want to pay 1 for that? And it's before the Soul Ring hits the battlefield, so they can't even use the Soul Ring to pay for the Esper Sentinel. It's really good, extremely good in an equipment deck. This is going in my Shram deck. You equip Esper Sentinel, they'll never be able to pay. It gets hard to kill, so because it scales with its power. So this is definitely very good card draw in white. I really appreciate the Wizard added this great piece of card draw in white. Now, the number 1 card in this set in Modern Horizons 2. I mean, this set was granted. It is so powerful. It's like Commander Horizons. I remember Modern Horizons 1 came out as Commander Horizons. Now this is Commander Horizons 2. Yes, these cards are good in Modern, but they are very good in Commander. And this is the best card here, number 1, Urza Saga. Now, again, because we don't want to homogenize the format and you want to have more fun ofs, I don't include Urza Saga in a lot of my decks because obviously I don't have that many. I only have 2, I think. But let's read Urza Saga. It is a saga. So as the saga enters, and after your draw step, add a lore counter, sacrifice after 3. Now, Urza Saga gains tap. It's actually enchantment land Urza Saga, so you just play it. You don't cast it. They can't counter it. First chapter, when it enters the battlefield, first chapter will trigger. Add colorless. So it becomes a land that adds a colorless. Now, if you stifle that trigger, this saga doesn't actually add the colorless. Second one, Urza Saga gains 2 tap, create a 0/0 colorless construct artifact creature token with this creature gets +1/+1 for each artifact you control. So it's a construct. And then 3 is search your library for an artifact card with mana cost, not mana value, exact mana cost 0 or 1. Put it onto the battlefield and shuffle. And then at end of 3, you sacrifice Urza Saga. The reason it's so good is, guess what the most played card in Commander is? Let's look at this card. Soul Ring. And guess what its converted mana cost, or mana cost, is 1, which Urza Saga can search for. So at worst case, you play Urza Saga. 2 turns later, you sack Urza Saga and make a Soul Ring. You can make constructs in the middle of it, add some mana, use it to add some mana, whatever. Right? What makes it insane is that you just need like 2 or 3 tutor targets. Right? You can just have Urza Saga get you an expedition map and eventually replace itself with like Yavamaya or something like that. Right? Or you can have Urza Saga get you other like utility cards, like Skull Clamp. So this is actually in my Chatterfang deck, the Urza Saga here. And then it's just so good because if you already have Soul Ring, you get Skull Clamp. If you don't need extra mana, you can get Skull Clamp. It's just a tutor that cannot be countered because you don't actually cast the card. Makes it insane. You can get Graveyard Hay like Soul Grind's Lantern. You get, Sensei's Divining Top, card advantage engine there. Or card selection engine, I should say. That's what makes it so good. And again, if I was playing in a more high-level competitive deck, Abundant Harvest will go in every green deck. Esper Sentinel will go in every white deck. This probably should go in every white deck. But again, I only have like 5 of them. I don't have that many to go. I have way more than 5 white decks. Urza Saga should go in every deck. So it's just like so many almost auto-includes for me because they're so powerful. Urza Saga is super powerful. Anyways, those are my Modern Horizon 2 top 10. If you have any comments, if you have your own top 10, leave them in the comment section below. If you enjoyed this video, give the video a thumbs up, smash the subscribe button, hit the notification bell to be alerted for when we have new cool videos coming up, deck techs and all that such. And as always, have a wonderful day.